So my son William is very keen on selling cars from home. We've got a little red Fiesta which has just came in part exchange from a lovely couple who previously bought the car from us.
So we can sort all this out then, and then...
Yeah, we'll get it all sorted for you. As I say, wheels are already done. We'll do the bodywork. Might take a day or two.
Get it valeted, and then I'll take it down to St Mary's, get a few photos and that.
St Mary's,
I might even get the drone out.
Oh,
Who knows?
Yeah, just go for a little run, huh?
Yeah, be one of them.
Good lad, huh?
But no.
Oh, that sounds good.
Ah, sweet.
Perfect.
Right, William, so I think we should go and take some photographs of your lovely car down at Whitley Bay, next to the lighthouse.
Right, okay.
It's always a bit of a hot spot for car dealers in this area because the lighthouse in Whitley Bay looks very nice as a nice backdrop. So obviously, because we've got the builders going on at home, we can't really do any photographs at our house. So I think Whitley Bay lighthouse is probably going to be the best option for you.
So like, I mean, why did you like start selling cars from the door? Like what was the reasoning from like all them years ago?
Well, it was like, I suppose I started selling cars from the door for money really. I think ultimately that's the main reason why people do it, is for money. And I wanted some extra money, so I was working full time, but I found it easy where I could go to the auction on a night time and buy a car. But to be honest with you, I didn't really know what I was doing because I hadn't came from a motor trade background. So I used to go to the auctions. I bet you I went to the auctions for 3 months before I bought a car.
Really?
Really, yeah. And I used to watch all the car dealers, and I got to know, you know, the faces and all that, and I'd see who they were, what they were buying, and then I'd, you know, see what they bought, and then a couple of days later go on their website, and then you could work out how much margin they were working on the car. So then if you're ever going to bid against them, you'd know, I got a bit of a feel for how far they would go. So if, you know, selling a car from home, you work on less margin than what a dealership works on, like a garage. Having said that, selling a car from home, your car needs to be advertised for less than what the garage would sell it for, in most cases.
Yeah, well, when we're like selling cars from, obviously part of the sales team, we'll tell customers like they're expecting like retail valuation with their part exchanges, but you can't. It has to be a little bit less, doesn't it?
Well, the problem is, and this is where a lot of consumers get a bit confused, is because if you've noticed when people sometimes come in, they'll say, I've noticed they're selling for that online. They're not selling for that, they're advertised for that. So when I used to start and sell cars from home, what I used to do was, I used to think, right, like I used to pick a car, whatever car it was, and I would ring the adverts, what was on there, which were for sale, and just ask them if they still had the cars. So say I had a little black Corsa and there was 3 or 4 little black Corsas available, I would ring them up and say, have you still got the car? And cheekily I might say, oh, have you had it very long? Have you advertised it for very long? And then you'd get to know, you know, if they were still on there. And every time you got, in those days, they used to get the magazine, the Autotrader magazine, and then it went online. But then you would look and think, well, how fast are these cars selling? So if the ones that weren't advertised the following week, if you remembered them and logged them, you think, right, I'll try and buy one of those. But when I started, the first car I ever bought was a Vauxhall Corsa. It was red. I think it was like an SRI or an SXI, and I bought it from Tyne Tees Motor Auctions, which are not there now, and they used to be on the coast road. It's where is it Tesco's is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to be the auctions, and I bought it there, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I got it MOT and serviced, and give it a little valet. And advertised it from home, and I sold it. To be fair, I sold it straight away.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was good. So then, but then I think the car of the moment at the time was Renault Clios. So they were very popular, the little Renault Clios. So what I decided to do was, I thought, well, why don't I? Because I don't know anything about the motor trade. I could quickly lose money, which I don't want to do that. And I think if you bought a car and sold it from home and lost money, well, it would just knock your end in a bit. And you just think to yourself, why am I going to do that again? So you probably wouldn't want to do it again. So it was important that I made money, you know, small profit on your first car. So anyway, I picked Renault Clios. So Renault Clios were quite popular, you know, like a 53 plate. And I used to buy used to get an authentique, you used to get expression, dynamic, you get a dynamic Billabong, and that's the car I used to buy. So every time I advertised one, I would know how many phone calls I got for it, and then I would replace it with exactly the same car. I'd hunt for them in the auctions. And then that way I got to know all the prices, I got to know about the parts, I got to know about any knocking noises or any mechanical faults that they used to have.
Right, okay.
And I got a good feel for it. So all I did was, for years and years and years, before we set up Redgate Lodge, when I did it in my part-time from home, I just sold rental Clios. That was it, rental Clios. And there'd be times when when you were little, it's at home, bouncing around on your trampoline, I'd be valeting the Clios on a Saturday and Sunday at home, and you know, I used to have like 5 or 6 at one point.
I mean, do you remember that video of me when I'm singing and I'm taking one of the wheels off for you?
Well, I know, when you think about it, you were probably only about 4 or 5.
And I was, yeah, because you had the car jacked up in the garage, and I don't know what, I can't remember what I was singing, but...
I tell you what you're singing,
Bubble song.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Yeah. Well,
I think your gran got you singing it.
I think she did. I'm not gonna demonstrate though.
I might have the video.
We're not gonna put it on though.
Can you sing it now?
Well, if you give us the lyrics, I might be able to.
No, because I'd have to sing it to you.
Go on then.
No. Right, William, what we'll do is we'll wait for this car to pass, because you don't want any pictures like that. So you see that there? Look at that blue sky. Isn't that a nice picture?
Ah, that's great, that.
Now what you want to do is, right, you need to get into here like this. See about there?
Right.
So you fill the full image with the car. Okay? So that there's perfect. Although it hasn't got the lighthouse in the background, we'll catch the lighthouse as we walk around.
Okay.
Okay? What you don't want to do is come all the way back here, right? Because we're not selling grass. Yep. The car is the centerpiece.
That's it.
Are you with us? Okay? So that's that angle there. Now Autotrader, they say the driver's side is the one to have it on. I don't know why. I don't know if that's because it's right-hand drives car or something like that. I'm not sure, but they always say that the right-hand side is the main like shot. So we tend to use both. But obviously, what the problem is, because it's sunny today, you're going to get a shadow there, which isn't the best. So although the sky looks good, it is sunny. So what you do is, that's your angle there. So you've got 2 angles, and then what you do is you do front and rear. So there's your front shot with a lighthouse. Look at that.
Ah, that's good, that.
It's a good shot now. So you do front and rear. So come round here. See that? So it's nice and square in the image.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you said, we're not selling grass, are we?
We're not selling grass, exactly. So then you want 2 side angles. So it can go this angle here. See that one there?
Yeah.
Nice angle. And we'll do the same on the other side. Lovely shot that. We'll do the 2 sides straight on. Look at that with the sea glistening in the background.
Aye, this is the place to do the photos, isn't it?
That's the money shot there. So we'll do one either side. Actually, yeah, that's all right, that shot. So we've got 2 angles. So we've got both angles there. Okay. 2 rear angles. You've got front, rear, side and side. That's basically it. What you can do now is probably the wheels. Now, because these wheels have all been freshly refurbished, look at those wheels. Aren't they nice? So you get down there like that.
And just fill the image with the...
Fill the image with the wheels, and you come down here onto this one. Bosh.
Sweet.
So around here, so you got the door card. So you see if we took that picture from here.
It looks terrible.
It's just too much in the background. You want to be in there like that. Square up the door card. Bosh. I'll tell you a motor trade classic what people do in the trade. They do that. See where there's me and you there?
Yeah.
In the grass.
Right.
See that? You know, see in the garages when they do that?
No.
Yeah, they'll have like the salesman in the shot. And I feel like saying all you have to do is stand back and zoom in, get you out the shadow. But I might be a bit OCD.
But the purposely wave in the shadow, or you're saying they don't even do?
No, I was just doing the wave for there.
All right.
but on a sunny day when you get shadows, it looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
Do you know what I'm saying? But that's it. The only one we've missed is the boot. I can do the boot and the engine.
The engine bay and boot.
Yeah. The boot one's a good shot. But again, you're getting shadows off because the sun's bright.
So it might be worth doing them again.
I would do, yeah. You want to do? I would redo those on a so you get it out the shadow.
Mm-hmm. So when you do engine bay as well,
you can do the engine bay. Have they cleaned under there?
It looked pretty clean.
Yeah. Do you want to open the bonnet?
Yeah.
You might have to. Oh, there we are. Look at that. I've still got the knack.
Yeah, because you would have cleaned
Oh, it's clean engine, isn't
It'll
it?
come with an engine cover, like, but it looks better like that, I think.
Yeah, isn't that nice? It's clean, that. Nice Bosch battery. Look at that. Yeah, and that there, so you got the engine shot there, but get the wings in and the lights as well. If you go like this on the engine, what are you going to do?
Could be any engine.
Exactly, so you bring it back like that, and possibly a bit of the number plate in as well, so you can see what engine is belonging to. But it's nice and clean, that engine.
There you go.
And that's it.
That's pretty much it.
You can do, when we do the ones at work, so the ones we do for the showroom for Redgate, we'll do all those which we call standard images, and then we do extra images, which is like the inside, you know, like when you go through the sat-nav.
All right, okay.
So we'll do detailed images, which could be like sat-nav, it could be a button which has the heated seat on, it could be cruise control, wing mirrors. We normally have headlight photographs, so people can see what the LED headlights look like in the dark. Right, so you can always do what you can call like extra shots, which they're the ones, they're like the money shots, they're the good ones. And they're the ones where you can get up to like, maybe it's about 80, we'll put like 80 to 100 shots on, which is really good. So the more shots what people can see, the consumer who's going to buy the car, the more they're going to pick up the phone.
Yeah, it's more attractive to sell, isn't it?
Yeah, and if your Fiesta's there, right, and you've got like, say 80 shots, all done, nice professional shots, nice and clear, and the car next to you has only put like 4 or 5 on, and it just looks a bit rough, who are they going to ring? They're ringing you, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll sell the car first time?
Straight away. I think it's nearly ready to go, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. So what we'll probably do is we'll head up now, and I'll show you how to write the description.
Right, okay.
Because a few little bullet points on that to do for the description.
Which make it easier.
Yeah, exactly. Shall I have ice cream on the way back?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, let's go. Right, William, so we are back at HQ. So, should we look at the figures first and then I'll tell you about descriptions?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so what I've done is I've put the reg of the car into Autotrader. So this is obviously our like DMS system. So you've got access to this yourself, but if you're selling cars privately from your house, you wouldn't. But this just gives you some background. So it gets a retail rating of 87 out of 100, which is good. Autotrader say that if it's anything over 50, you're doing well, which is all right.
That's good.
Okay, and then also it gives you the pricing structure as well down here. So if I scroll down here, they're saying that the retail price on good prices are £3,000. Okay, then further down the screen, we've got access to this, so you can see on here, these are cars which are similar to it. Okay, and then days in stock. So this top one, for example, that's in Birmingham. He's had that for 67 days. It's done 100,000 miles, and he's got it for £2,000. Okay, and obviously adjust the filters there. This is a bit of the background stuff. You can do plate either side, which does that. So that plate either side will widen up the search.
Right, okay.
Okay, but you won't have access to that, or normally you wouldn't. So then what I used to do back in the day when I was price checking the cars, I'd go into Autotrader and you just put your filters in. So it's a diesel Fiesta, I put the air in, I've put in up to 80,000 miles with 50 miles radius of where we are. Ford Fiesta, £2,000 to £3,000, okay? And that's what's available in the northeast within 50 miles radius of where we are today, okay? That one there's a 1.6, so it's not, yours is the 1.4, so yours is arguably more desirable. That's 2,750, 73,000 miles, so it's similar to yours, but it is the higher engine one, private seller. This one here, again, similar miles, that's a 59, so yours is 2 years newer than that. But I think your car, I've done the maths for you here, so we've got your bills, right? So again, you'll know how much you've spent on the car, and also we've got the history. So what you've spent on the car so far is, the car's £1,000, okay? You've spent service and MOT, 243.22. Paint, which was the body shop bill, is £240. Alloy wheel refurbishment, because we've had those re-powder coated, £220. Yeah. And your valet and polish is £100. So that's how much you owe Redgate Lodge. So you need to pay for the car, which is £1,803.22. Okay. Now, bearing in mind, the garage would probably have this car on here for dealership, might be like 2,995 or maybe even 3,295. It's very desirable because there's not many of them around. It's cheap tax, it's a 1.4, it's a 4-door. This car will fly out quicker than you can know. Okay, so selling price.
It's a seller, isn't it?
It's a seller. In fact, I might keep it.
Would you call it an honest car?
An honest car. It's a very honest car. It's very honest. Yes, it's an honest car. And that's a good point. The reason why we call the channel Honest Cars is because traders, if I was trading a car to you, okay, or if I was on the phone, I was trading a car, what a lot of car dealers would say to somebody when they're describing the car, they say, it's an honest car. Even if it's not. So that's where it came from, Honest Cars. And also Anthony, our marketing manager, he thought the name, we quite liked it, so that's why we call the channel Honest Cars. And it's a big overview of the whole business, because also there's the body shop, workshop, and it's about buying cars, trust, transparency. That's what it's all about. So back to your little Fiesta. So I think if a garage was selling it for like 3,295 or 2,995, you need to be a little bit cheaper than the garage. I would advertise that on Facebook. Doesn't cost you anything as far as I'm aware. £2,795. Now, if you get that, which I'm sure you will, that gives you a profit of £991.78. How easy is that?
Easy, that.
So you've got to sell it first. So
take much, does it?
Your service and MOT, somebody else has done the work. Your paint, somebody else has done the work. Your alloy wheels, somebody else has done the work, right? Your valet and polish, somebody else has done the work. All you've had to do is walk around the car with me when you first came and had a look, and then you photographed it down in front of the lighthouse.
That's it.
So for work, you're going to get yourself nearly £1,000. Now there is things like tax you have to pay where you have to declare it, okay? That's another story, which we can talk about that later when you have to put it on. My accountant used to do my tax return for me back in the day. So anything what I made on cars against when I was working full time, you had the income on that and you just put it on the, I can't remember what the form it is, but you put it on a form.
Right, okay.
Okay. The other thing is VAT. That's another element. The thing is with VAT in the motor trade, it's called margin VAT, but I'll show you that on the next one. I've got a lovely little Corsa for you next, which has just came in stock, and I think we'll get this one advertised, and you've got your next one ready to go, and that's what I used to always do. I used to always have like 2 or 3 on the bowl. Okay?
Right, okay.
So that's how that's starting up. So that's your potential profit. That's where you get excited. That's the exciting part. Okay?
What makes that potential?
What makes it potential? That if somebody says, yes, I would really like to buy your car, and there is the money.
No, but as in, you mean like, I mean, obviously, if someone tries to bid me, do we take bids or do we, it's firm on?
Well, I never used to take a bid.
It's just firm on.
If you believe in your car and you've priced it right, you've priced it to the market, you've serviced it, you've MOT'd it, you've done the paint, you've got the fresh wheels, anybody coming to look at that car can't really have anything negative to say about it to try and knock you down money. But everybody will ask you. You'll get asked best price for cash. But just say no, and then what you say is on the phone, I've serviced it, I've MOT'd it, it's been fully vaulted, it's been machine polished, it's had all the wheels freshly refurbished. There's no point in taking money off, and the phone's been ringing off the hook. And remember, they say the phone's been melting. And then lastly, your description. Your description is very, very, very important, okay? Going back to my chefing days, right? You know when you go into a restaurant and you can't decide what to have?
Yeah. Because
the menu's crap and it hasn't been written properly. That's usually what happens. So if you had something like salmon with vegetables, right? But thinking about it, if you had freshly caught Hexham salmon served with a bonfire of seasonal vegetables accompanied by a saffron sauce, all of a sudden it sounds better. Yeah. Do you get the point?
Yeah, no.
So when you write your description in the car, there's a way in what you do. And I've made some notes for you, you can give you this to take away. So the first thing what you do, and this we do this in Redgate Lodge, it has to flow. So all of our descriptions all flow the same, okay? So you've got what it is first, so it's the car, right? That's the most important part. Second paragraph is the spec and the features, yeah? So it's got the air conditioning. I think it's got air climate.
Yeah. It's
got the Sony upgraded system because it's titanium, yeah? It's got all the buttons on the steering wheel, so you write all that on there, what colour it is, and so on, okay? Number 3 is where it came from. So we, in our dealership, we'll always say where the car came from. So if we bought the car from Billy in Manchester, we'll say, we bought the car from Billy in Manchester, he owned it for 3 or 4 years. So it builds up a little bit of a history about the car. Mm-hmm. So anybody looking to buy it, we'll take that on board. With you putting on there, you wouldn't need to put that in your advert, but a dealership would. That's where it's slightly different, okay? Then number 4, history, docs and MOT. So you've got you know about the docs, we know about the service history. So your service history for the car, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've got 12 service stamps. All the miles are on there. So when you actually put that on your description, put all the miles on, serviced at 12,000 miles, 20,000 miles, 30,000 miles, put that all on there. Because anybody looking to buy a car think, wow, 12 service stamps, and look at all that history. It's been well maintained. Yeah. Okay. Put your MOT on, the MOT date. So when you write the description, we've just had the 12 months MOT done with no advisories. Okay. So you're ticking all the boxes. So when people are reading it down there, they'll just think, this is great. And then you can put on the bottom contact details. You can put on it for yourself. Ring William with your telephone number on. I'm available most nights after 5 or whatever, or available on weekends. You don't have to put that on, but you can.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
It's pretty straightforward.
That is it. Dead easy. So if you write that and then once you've written it, I'll check your description from you.
Right, okay.
But if you go onto a Redgate Lodge website and read any of the descriptions, which our Ryan does them up the road, they're all written, Ryan and Sam do them, they're all written in that same format like that. It's important you do it like that because it flows, tells a story about the car.
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't want to say, this is the service history at the top, because the people they're not interested in the service history at that point. They're only interested in, right, what's the car? I want to know about the car first. Don't know about where you got it from or what you offer as a dealership. They're not interested in that. They've clicked on the car to see what the car is all about. That's the most important part. That's your first top section. This is the car, these are the features, and then it flows down like that to who you are at the end.
Okay.
All right?
It's pretty straightforward.
Easy. So we'll get that advertised and then see how we go.
So we'll go. Sweet.
Yeah, and then what we'll try and do is, if you, when you're speaking to somebody, just say, we've got a YouTube channel and we're doing a bit of recording in the background. Would you mind if there's a strange man in the background in a black shirt who might have a video camera? The strange man's either me or Andy.
The mystery Andy.
The mystery Andy, yeah. The mystery Andy, yeah. So we'll do that, and then hopefully we could video the sale at the end. But obviously we might be able to get that in if we can. Yeah, it depends on it. Yeah.
Well, let's get it up.
So we'll get advertised, yeah. And then I've got your next one, which is it's a lovely little car for you.
White Corsa.
White Corsa, yeah. All right.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Right, so I have officially sold the red Fiesta. My dad just got back off his holiday. I'm gonna go surprise him. Let's go. He'll be very shocked, I think. Lad's busy at work in there. Dad?
Oh, how we doing?
I've went and sold it.
Did you?
While you've been away.
Did you really?
It's gone, man, money's in. Everything's
well
paid
done.
for.
Well done.
All good.
See, that's your first car?
That's the first one, didn't I?
Oh, nice one.
I thought, should we go over the numbers and just figure out how much, well, everything cost-wise. I paid for the car, but I still need to pay for like the service and that.
Right, okay.
So go through the cost and go from there.
Yeah, well, I've been on the system actually because I noticed that it was off the system.
All right.
Sneakily, a little look.
Sneaky.
I've got to be truthful. I had a little sneak.
Okay.
So yeah, I've seen that. But so who bought it? What, did you try and get them on the film or what?
Well, I asked them to be on the YouTube,
Yes.
but they weren't comfortable doing it.
Right, okay.
Two young lads from South Shields.
Right.
They came in, liked the car, they were happy with it, we drove it and that, and
Right, okay.
it went really smoothly. The only thing they picked up on, which was from, well, my mistake, is there was a dent on the tailgate.
Right.
So I knocked 20 quid off. I just went, oh, well, I'll knock 20
I
quid
never
off.
seen that dent on the
I didn't
tailgate.
either. It might have happened like when I've had it parked up.
Could you see the dent?
Oh yeah, well it had a chip in the middle when I was there. I was like, oh, it's dented with a tiny little chip. I touched it in for them, but the dent was still there. And I just went, well, you can probably get someone out for 40 quid. And I just says, wait, look mate, it's a 11 plate car, like, I'll knock 20 quid off for you. And he was buzzing with that, to be fair.
Right, okay.
So we did the payment and that, and then yeah, they've had the car ever since, went and fueled it. He's messaged us on Facebook as well and said, oh, the car's lush, he's buzzing with it. Because it was his second car.
Right.
His first car, he had it for 3 months and wrote it off.
Right.
So he got that one, and he's texted me saying he's happy with it, so.
I think obviously we use the Autotrader part exchange tool when we value the cars coming in. So because that changes daily and weekly.
Yeah.
The Autotrader prices. So when it came in, we've adjusted the price, obviously needing with the damage coming in. So when we've taken it in part exchange, obviously which is allowed for you to then do the damage repairs, present it rightly, or correctly, should I say, and then yeah, get it advertised. So did you go with 2795?
Well, I knocked it down. I had it for sale for about a week.
Right.
Loads of interest.
Right.
I knocked it down to about 2,600.
Okay.
And then finished on 2,580 after I knocked 20 quid off for the dent.
Oh, that's good.
But it's still left with for how much work we've done, it's left with a decent amount of profit.
Well, I was doodling the other day before I went on holiday. Oh, there's it there.
Is that there?
Yeah, so you've got on here. So the sieve of the car was 1,000.
Cost was 1,000.
Standing value. And your service and MOT was 243.22.
Yep.
Paint was 240.
Mm-hmm.
Alloys was 220. And the spoiler, there was extra work to do on the spoiler, wasn't it?
Because Jamie was, when we were getting it valeted, it took some of the lacquer off.
I think it had mould along, remember when we seen the car outside? Did it have like mould along the crease? And we said it just needed, I'm sure we've seen that. So I think when he's had the jet in there, it's probably lifted the lacquer slightly.
So we got that resprayed. That was only 90 though. That
was
only
only £90 to get redone, yeah. And then your valet and machine polish, obviously 100. So 1893, so roughly 1900 quid. And then you've reduced it by that. So that leaves you a profit, £686.78. So roughly 700 quid.
Advertisement was free. Yeah. So Facebook's easy to use. It's 20 photos, description, what the car is, and then it's up there. It's a very easy process for anyone wanting to do it at home.
Right, okay. So that's all right for 700 quid, isn't it?
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, like we've touched on previously, there's tax, there's VAT. If you sold a lot of these, you'd have to be VAT registered, but otherwise it's tax, yeah. So you can just log that in your books, which will show you how to do that. But I think that's been a good result.
That's good, yeah.
And then what's the position of the little Corsa then? Because you've already got that on the go. Is that advertised now?
The Corsa is for sale for you lot.
Oh, it's for sale.
It's for sale.
I had a phone call about it last night.
Did you?
Yeah. A girl called Lynn from up in Scotland who I know, she used to work at BCA. She wants it for her son.
Really?
Yeah, so she says, would we drop it off at BCA for her? Because I think they were going to shift it up to Scotland that way.
What, BCA Newcastle?
Yeah.
Hey, if she's paying the bill, I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's a mint car, that.
Yeah.
It's a really good car.
And then the next video we're going to do on that one, aren't we?
Yeah.
The full process again.
Exactly. Well, we've got the Hyundai i10 next.
And you've got the Hyundai i10 after the Corsa.
Yeah.
And another red Fiesta, haven't you?
But that one's, we'll not talk about that one yet. Keep that one
under
the carpet for now.
But you like the process?
Yes, nice and easy. Right. Anyone from home can do it. It's super easy.
Yeah.
That was not, I mean, don't get us wrong, yes, we're in a very good position being in the trade, but for someone to go on Facebook, buy a car, book it in at our body shop in a service centre, get it serviced, validate it themselves, save the money, and then resell it and make a couple hundred, it's so easy. Yeah, it really wasn't hard, that.
I think a lot of people obviously, they don't know how to do it. But
it's a risk as well.
It's risky because you've got to know what you're doing, because you could lose your money, couldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's all about, like I told you before I bought a car, I was studying the market for about 3 months before I bought one. Yeah. Just to make sure I bought the right one, so I wasn't going to lose any money.
Exactly.
So it's important.
Well, I think, I would say for anyone, watching from home, if you followed our steps, step by step, as easy as I'm saying it is, like, it was simple. Yeah. Follow the steps, good description, good photos, do the job right, and you can't go wrong.
Yeah. When I used to do it, sometimes I used to just ring, mine was all done over the phone. So I'd buy a car at the auction, I'd ring Chris and I'd say to the transport driver, can you collect that car from the auction, take it to the painter? Because I'd already seen the car. Yeah. Then I'd ring Bob the painter and say, Bob, this is down for a front bumper and a bonnet. And he'd be like, right, son. And then when he would then ring us when that was done. Yeah. And then it would be, and then I'd ring the MOT centre and I'd say, can you go and collect that car from Bob? It needs an MOT in a service. And he'd be like, the same. All right. And then he would say it was done, and then the valet would collect it from him. So until it was actually done, most of the cars I would valet, but sometimes I'll get the odd one valeted, you can actually do the process over the phone. So if you've got a full-time job and you think, I haven't got time to do it, as long as you've got a phone, you can get to your phone and get all the process done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
All good.
That's it. On to the next one.
On the next one.
On to the next one.
Well done.
Perfect.
Well done. That's it.
Strange man.
Strange man. Well, I was saying me as the strange man, and then I thought black shirt, and then I went, oh, and Andy, and I thought, yeah, I thought, yeah.
I seen you react. You were like that.
There's a strange man. Yeah, or it could be Andy.